Hello and good morning to you. It's another wonderful morning. This is July 29th, no, the 30th on Thursday, the 30th um, of the year of the COVID virus, the year of fear. I'm welcoming you to Sacred Heart Yoga. This is honestly the best way that you can start your day. Get you on a right foot throughout the whole day, walking with God as you should be on your path with God. So we begin with prayer. God, I thank you for this wonderful method of each of us praying aloud our heartfelt fears, concerns, sharing them with you on our paths, our individual paths in service to you. I thank you for the body movements that heal my body while the prayers heal my mind and my soul. Thank the generations that have brought this to us from the house of Abraham, the house of David, from Jesus, his mother Mary, Father Joseph, Mary Magdalene, and Virginia Ellen, who finally wrote the book, Sacred Heart Yoga, so that anybody in the world can practice this ancient method of prayer anytime they want. Now, if you'll repeat after me, we'll do the Sacred Heart Yoga prayer, morning prayer. Beloved, I devote this practice this day to the evolution of my soul. To the fulfillment of my destiny and service to the One. And I allow myself to be purified of all fears as I rejoice in the kingdom of heaven and the love of God. And I give thanks for these blessings, these moments I share. With my body and my spirit in oneness with you. And so it is. Amen. Om. Now we're going to clear our energy fields. This means rid ourselves of the distractions, the every day-to-day distractions, things that we've got to do that we're worried about, we're afraid about, things that are pulling us away from our walk, our thoughts, our concentration, our prayers. And the way we do this, in Sacred Heart Yoga, we do a motion where we put our hand up to the 12 o'clock position. And it's like the hours of a clock. You move them slowly over to the 3 o'clock position, over to your right knee, your left knee, 9 o'clock position, and back up to the 12 o'clock position with your right arm. And as we do this motion, repeat after me. I clear my energy field of anyone or anything standing within. I bless them and I send them to the light. Om. Now we come to what I feel is the most important part of Sacred Heart Yoga, because it sets my tone for the whole rest of my prayers. We ask God, how may we serve you, or how may we serve you this day? And the answer always comes to me in just one or two words, never anything more than that. And then I concentrate on those one or two words throughout the rest of the prayers, praying as often as I can about understanding on those one or two words. And so we do this by putting our right hand over our hearts. And each time I'll say, and our prayers begin with, and that's where I'll give you just the beginning of the prayer, but you must finish it with your own heartfelt prayers. And so our hands on our hearts, our prayers begin with, God, how may I serve you this day? Om. Now we're going to stand and announce out loud what came to us. You know what, one or two words came to us, or whatever came to us. And we do this by putting our palms forward, arms out at our sides. Then here our prayers begin with, God, my intention to serve you this day is to Om. Now, in Aramaic, we seal an agreement by saying the word Amen 3 times. Well, here we're going to sing it 3 times to seal our oath to God as to our service to God this day. Sing it any tone, any tune you want, whatever feels right for you. Amen. 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 Now we're going to sit back down and lay down on our backs. And in between each set, we go into what's called resting position. We take our hands at our sides, our feet outstretched, and then we begin a new set. And right now, we'll pull our right knee up to our chest and hold it there with our arms and hands. stretching it, and here our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for all. Now we hold our right foot in our left hand, pull it over to our left thigh, and let our right knee fall down to the mat, and we let our right arm go straight above our heads, out and down to the mat, stretched out down to the mat. And here our prayers begin with, Father, I love you, and I thank you for all. Now we take our right foot in our right hand, pull it down to our pelvis. Our left arm goes straight above our heads. And here our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for all. Now our right foot goes up to the heavens. And here our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for all. Now our right leg goes up to the heavens and falls out to the right side. Our arms fall straight out to the sides from our shoulders, palms up, and our arms are down on the mat. And here our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for all. Now we turn our heads to the right and we pull our right foot up and over across our bodies over to the left side, trying to extend it down to the mat while we keep our shoulders down flat on the mat. And here our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for Om. Now we go back to resting position, and this time we pull our left knee up to our chest and hold it there. And our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for. Om. Now we take our left foot in our right hand, pull it over to our right thigh. Let our left knee fall down to the mat. Our left arm goes straight up above our head, stretched out and down to the mat. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for. Om. Now we switch hands. We take our left foot in our left hand, pull it down to our pelvis. And our right arm this time goes up above our head, stretched out down to the mat. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for. Om. Now we take our left foot and we point it up to the heavens. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for. Om. Now we let that left foot go up to the heavens and fall out to the left side of our bodies, down to the mat, opening our pelvis wide. Our arms go straight out from our shoulders, down to the mat, palms up. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for. Om. Now we turn our heads to the left, and our left leg goes up and across our body over to the right side, down to the mat, keeping our shoulders down flat on the mat. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you, and I thank you for... Om. Now we go back to resting position and we pull both knees up to our chest and hold them there with our arms and our hands. Here our prayers begin with, God, I love you and I thank you for... Om. Now we take our right foot in our right hand, our left foot in our left hand, pull them down to our pelvis, soles of our feet together, our knees extending out. And here our prayers begin with, God, I love you and I thank you for... Om. Now we pull our feet apart, keeping them down near our pelvis. Here our prayers begin with, God, I love you and I thank you for... Om. Now we take both feet and point them up towards the heavens. And here our prayers begin with, God, I love you and I thank you for... Om. Now we let our feet fall down to the mat near our pelvis. And our arms get extended straight out from our shoulders again, down to the mat, but this time our palms are down on the mat. We turn our heads to the left and our knees go to the right, down to the mat, keeping our shoulders on the mat at the same time. And our prayers begin with, God, I love you and I thank you for all. Now we turn our knees to the left and our heads to the right, keeping our shoulders still down flat on the mat, and our knees to the left and down to the mat. And here our prayers begin with, God, I love you, and I thank you for all. Now we go back to resting position, legs outstretched, arms at our sides. And this next pose is the surrender pose, where we surrender anything to God that might be troubling us, any guilt, any fears. We confront them and we turn them over to God. We do this by putting our hands under our sit bones and leaning forward on our elbows. And our heads, the top of our heads, go back down towards touching the mat. And here our prayers begin with, God, I surrender to you. All. Now we go back to resting position and we take our left arm pointed up towards the heavens. And then we let it fall over to the right side of our body, stretching our left shoulder. We stretch our left shoulder a little bit more by taking our right hand halfway between our right elbow and right shoulder, or left elbow and left shoulder, or right hand, left elbow, left shoulder. Stretching it a little bit more. And here our prayers begin with, God, I choose to. Om. Now our right arm goes up into the air, falls over to the left side of our bodies. And we take our left hand halfway between our right shoulder and right elbow and stretch it over farther, stretching our shoulders. And here our prayers begin with, God, I can. Om. Now we go back to resting position and we pull our feet up on the mats, right near our pelvis, soles of our feet together, and our knees fall out to the sides. And this is forming a tabernacle, a house of God below our bodies. We form a second tabernacle over our hearts by putting our hands in prayer position, lifting them up 2/3 of the way up to the heavens. And in God's tabernacle of our hearts, we find a beautiful chalice. It's filled to overflowing with any gift, anything we could ever need to be in service to God. And so here our prayers begin with, God, I drink from your chalice, your wonderful gift of Om. Now we keep our hands in prayer position and we move them over the tops of our heads down to the mat, letting our elbows fall out down to the mat too. This forms a tabernacle over our entire bodies. And here our prayers begin with, God, I thank you for my body, my mind, my spirit, my soul. Om. Om. Now we start the anointing series. We take our thumbs to our foreheads. And our prayers begin with, God, I anoint your gift to me of Om. Now we take our thumbs down to our lips and our prayers begin with, God, I bless and I dedicate it only in service to you, your gift of Om. Now we put our hands in prayer position over our hearts, and our prayers begin with, God, I thank you for this gift to me of Om. Now we point our fingers down into our abdomens and extend our hands out to the 3 o'clock position, and then slowly move them up to the 12 o'clock position. And as we do this motion, our prayers begin with, God, I fill my body, my mind, my spirit, and my soul with this gift of Om. Now we go back to resting position, legs outstretched, arms at our sides. We cross our right ankle over our left ankle, our right wrist over our left wrist. And here our prayers begin with, God, I thank you for this safety, for your protection, Om. Now we go back to resting position, roll over on our sides, and push ourselves back up into sitting position using our arms and our hands. We take our right leg straight out in front of us. We cross our left foot over our right knee. We hold our left knee with our right arm, and our left arm goes behind our back for support. We twist our heads and our shoulders to the left. And here our prayers begin with, desire I am, desire I am, desire I am. I desire all. Now we take our left foot straight out in front of us. Our right foot goes across our left knee. Our left arm holds our right knee, and our right arm goes behind our backs. Our head and shoulders turn to the right. And here our prayers begin with, will I am, will I am, will I am. I will. Now we get up on our knees. Put our hands in prayer position over our hearts, and our prayers begin with, God, I truly thank you for all. Now we make a tabernacle with our hands by putting the tips of our thumbs together and the tips of our first fingers together. And we lay the tabernacle down on the mat. And we put our foreheads in it in child's pose. And as we do this, we just take a moment and we feel God's love penetrating every cell in our bodies. Om. Now we go back to sitting position. This time our right leg goes out to the right side. Our left foot comes up to the inside of our right thigh. And here our prayers begin with, God, I am. Om. Now we take our left leg out to the left side. Our right foot comes up to the inside of our left thigh. And here our prayers begin with, God, I am truly Om. Now we go back to sitting position. Our palms are up on our knees, up, forward, up high, straight up. Our thumbs touch our middle two fingers. And we bow forward, keeping our back straight. And we bow at our pelvis. And here our prayers begin with, I bow to my body, to my mind, to my spirit, and to my soul. Om. Now we sit back up straight and tall. And we bow a second time, keeping our back straight, bowing only at our pelvis. And this time our prayers begin with, God, I bow to you. Om. Now we sit back up straight and tall, and we feel our pelvis where we're grounded on the left and right sides of our pelvis. On the left side of our pelvis, we feel and can envision God's white light of love filling our bodies, filling our legs, every cell in our legs with love, filling our abdomens, every cell in our abdomens with love, filling our hearts to bursting like a beacon shining out in all directions with God's love, filling our throats, filling our heads with peace, tranquility, and the love of God. And the white light goes out the tops of our heads and shines up high and wide into the heavens and showers back down upon the whole world and every living creature. Now we feel on the right side of our pelvis the wonderful blue light of God the Father, His teaching, His truth, His wisdom, always teaching us, always guiding us, nudging us in the right direction. And we feel this beautiful blue light fill our legs, every cell in our legs, with the truth and the knowing as to how to repair themselves, heal themselves, replace themselves. And then we feel this blue light go up through our organs, our stomachs, our intestines, our liver, our hearts. The blue light comes up into our hearts, filling our hearts with the wisdom for every cell. And our hearts pump it to every cell in our body, this beautiful blue light of wisdom. And the blue light comes up through our throats into our heads, giving us the peace of knowing there is a God and that He has a truth, and He'll share it with us. And the blue light goes out the tops of our heads and up into the skies, high up, and showers down on the whole earth around us. Now we can step up into the light above our heads and stay as long as we want. Here in the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of light, Kingdom of heaven on this earth. We can ask any question that we want. But one question we also ask every time is, God, what do I need to know this day?